Test, 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 test. Hello there, YouTubers, my fellow viewers, subscribers, audiences, and most beloved patrons. It's the it's the 14th of June, year 2025, both at Australian Eastern Standard Time / Sydney time, and local Beijing time. So yeah, I just kind of gathered more thoughts about life in general and in particular, also my life, my shitty life, and how I have been working to strive to it and whatnot. So the title of this video, as I've mentioned and written, is stay hungry, foolish, and well, as the title suggests, like I also like to share with you guys what I think of such saying and my own interpretation and how how I imagine it can apply to improving one's quality of life, regardless of genders, regardless of socio-economic statuses, regardless of your backgrounds or ethnicities or nationalities and whatnot. So basically, I suppose stay hungry, stay foolish means striving to make constant and continuous improvement, and yet do not regard yourself as someone wise or someone all-knowing or someone omnipotent. Well, since once you begin to think highly of yourself, you will, well, not necessarily you will have a inflated ego, but it can make your life more boring, more monotonous, and in turn it can more or less, I suspect, more contribute to depression, in particular severe depression, and anxiety sometimes, or more often than not. And in the worst case scenario, it might lead to suicide, which more or less, I suppose, often result in a painful, slow, and agonizing, excruciating death. Since I'm not gonna go say that I witnessed many um, cases of suicides. I do, I do have, seen plenty of faces of deaths, both in real life, in the virtual tangible part of the matrix. Well, I'm not. I'm going to elaborate on my black and dark, my pretty much pitch dark history too much here, since I do not want to um, upset or frighten my any new viewers or new audiences that comes my way here. So, but yeah, I do, judging from the facial expressions of those deaths caused by suicide, they most likely they have not spent their final moments in peace or in a state in which they manage to relieve or mitigate their sufferings. Hence, no matter say no matter how black pilled or how de- depressed we got yourselves, we I will well I will not encourage you guys to commit the act of self deletion unless you have made up your mind. And also on the other hand, you can kind of afford to euthanize yourselves by paying Belgium, either Belgium or Switzerland, a visit and have someone highly trained, highly skilled, highly professional to do it on your behalf. Um, Besides that, I will not recommend nor encourage that you guys end or take your own life just for the sole sake of alleviating or mitigating your existing sorrows and pain. Uh, so yeah, and back to the main point of discussion for this live for this live filming session. Um, Stay hungry, stay foolish. Can I suppose can also have some empirical or pragmatic applications when it comes to sparkling or um, activating one's curiosity and interest in in trying new things, in exploring unexplored horizons, by seeing new people, by visiting new places, namely new countries or regions, exploring new continents. I beg your pardon. So long as you can afford it, so to do so without attracting debts to your sorry ass. um, so yeah, do plan that wisely, and never consider yourselves sufficiently wise that that you assume every aspect about someone or something, including yourself. We don't even know fully. We don't even know fully about ourselves, much less how we anticipate or how we expect others may behave in the next couple of seconds or minutes or hours. Though we can, you know, um, continuously to, learn and kind of mimic their behavioral patterns and blah blah blah, and to a certain degree or extent in turn kind of anticipate or extrapolate their next moves. um so yeah, bigger part, just adjusting. Yeah, so maybe, yeah, in terms of mitigating and relieving your pain, perhaps you can try, first of all, though it may sound quite cliche to my existing audiences and viewers. um, you may try to reset your circadian rhythms by getting up as early as you can, though I'm not necessarily suggesting that you must not indulge yourself or must not cut yourself any slack and get up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., or 7 a.m., blah, blah, blah. But at least you should learn to force yourself to rise, to get up from it as soon as you struggle to fall back to sleep, or as soon as you begin to feel that you are already struggling to fall back to sleep or fall back to your hibernation, in order to offer yourself a temporary escape route from this shitty and hostile brutal life that we are all unfortunately forced and compelled to continue living. And yes, there are also, other, sorts of natural ry- rhythms, namely, natural bodily rhythms. Say in case of women, in case you happen to have an ovary and a womb, you will also unfortunately have to endure the menstruation cycles, which you know I suppose it is another sort medical. um I am not a qualified medical practitioner, so I can't. So please do not take whatever I say here as medical advice or any professional recommendations pertaining to how you should manage your health or your existing ailments or symptoms or i- illnesses, blah blah blah. But um, instead, I give you guys, my own, advice, based solely on my own experience, managing and coping with my own shitty life, featuring, you know, time after time, severe depression episodes, sometimes also anxiety, and sometimes less commonly panic attacks. Um, so whenever you begin to suffer from loads of pain and sorrows, maybe maybe you suffer excessively because you are contradicting some natural bodily rhythms. Say, you know most typically speaking, circadian rhythm or your natural sleep patterns or biological clock, biological rhythms, and whatnot. And I know that on some occasions you kind of have to, you know, um, I understand that as men we sometimes more or less have to kind of forcefully push ourselves by staying up late, having to work a bit of overtime to in order to catch up or patch up with some some work, some say you know that can include but are not limited to, say, drafting a report, gathering some gathering or crunching some numbers and statistics in order to draw a reasonable and logical conclusion based on empirical numbers, so that we can make better, more logical, more informed decisions, um, whenever whether regardless of whether it comes to business, entrepreneurial undertakings, relationships, managing your relationships, your networks of contacts that you are about to utilize for your own advantages and benefits. Um, but do take note that take note that um, I beg your pardon. Take note that um, more often than not, whatever you gain as benefits in the short term may oftentimes turn into a loss or a damage in the long term. So say um, even if you manage to have reverted your already severely damaged, compromised circadian rhythm back to normal, it will still take at least according to my own experiences, it will at least take you like a month or two for your bodily function to fully recover. And not to mention that in case you suffer from say from mental or mood disorders like severe depression, um, well, at least in my case, in ingesting antidepressant at night can more or less exacerbate or worsen your existing symptoms of deep depression. So I highly recommend that those oops those that suffer from similar, if not that those that suffer from highly similar, if not identical symptoms um, to me, abstain from taking antidepressant at night, and try to, well, by the latest you can ingest anti you should I believe, or at least so I believe, you should ingest antidepressant, your anti depressant no later than say 30 to and 30 minutes to an hour after you wrap up your lunch. Yeah, and that's precisely what I did for today. Yeah, I beg your pardon for my stuttering. So yeah, welcome, Seth. I beg your pardon. I'm wearing my sun glasses. Kind of struggle with seeing your text messages so clearly. So yeah, I beg your pardon. It took me some time to to notice your messages. The matrix is shattering. Well, maybe in some parts of the world, yes, the matrix. At least more people seem to be awakening. By reproducing less, or if not if not have chosen not to reproduce at all. So you can say that to some extent, I suppose. United States equals bail, home of the brave, land of the free, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I believe in everything and nothing because we all create reality based on alignment. Yeah, our mind, can largely shape, the reality, our reality around us. Though sometimes we can kind of break free from our own biases, from our own pre- prejudice. Say I used to I used to have such sort of mindset or perception that um, cloudy weather or a rainy day can make one depressed, or can worsen or make one's existing symptoms of depression further deteriorate. But I suppose I have proven my wrong by sitting here filming this live stream, though not with much amount of confidence or sunny vibe. But I still manage, to gather enough, a sufficient amount and level of confidence and self-esteem by sitting here and filming this live stream, and at least try my best to articulate my thoughts and ideas, and analyze and present them to you guys. And based on the recent amount of increase subscribers, and a slight amount of in, increase in income on my Patreon page, at least I believe I managed to get my messages across, despite against all odds, despite my somewhat severe, or moderate stuttering. So even if I stutter, I can still manage to get most of my messages, most of my ideas and thoughts, and the information I would like to present across the whole globe. So never, never make silly assumptions. Never make hasty and silly assumptions about people, including yourself, including yourselves. No matter how beaten, how broken, or how broke you you think you've become. It all comes down to your willpower, your willingness to bend and challenge the reality to your favor, to your advantage. So long as your willpower, so long as you have a sufficient amount of willpower, you can certainly at least bend the reality to a certain extent, to the direction that favors you, that grants you some favors, some benefits, so that you can change, you can make some positive changes and shifts, and make something happen, namely something pleasing, something more enjoyable, something that can bring you more fulfillment, or at least sense of fulfillment, if not also sense of achievement in the meantime. And on the other hand, about yes, about how I perceive one can strive to alleviate one's anxiety and fear. of the future. I suppose you can start beginning or starting from the present moment. You can get started with building as many safety nets as you can by investing into your future. Though it does not necessarily imply that you should spend all your time all day long planning or worrying about how you you should spend your twilight years, and when how or when or where exactly you spend your twilight years. No, not at all. But there are certain kinds of alternative investments you can learn to play with, learn to experiment with. Say, um, most typically speaking, no, you invest in noble metals. Most typically speaking, gold and silver. Maybe in case you have access to platinum, to platinum, then invest in platinum. Though I do not really, think much of platinum. Though since I have utterly no experience with investing in or buying and selling platinum. Say noble metals other than gold and silver. And there are some moreover, furthermore, you can also um, invest in relics, in antiques, say old books, manuscripts, stamps, and yes, stamps, and even some figure, some figurines. Though you will have to figure out a way to quickly and swiftly capitalize on them in the shortest du- duration of time possible. Um, so yeah, that says that goes back to saying, to the very title of this filming session, of this live filming session. Um, stay stay hungry, stay foolish. And the staying foolish can play a vital role in ensuring, or at least maximizing the chance you stand against all odds, in order to protect and in order to maintain and protect your happiness, your joy, your state of mental bliss, against all those negativities, against all those you know energy vampires. um that says you should on some occasions abstain from trying to get to the bottom of everything, slash restraining. Learn to restrain your curiosity, your inquisitiveness. That says it's completely okay. It's totally fine not to know the whole truth, or not, or any molecule or atom of certain truths at all. You know, if staying in the dark, or staying in the blind spot can make you happy, can make you feel less suicidal, then why not? Why not, voluntarily? Why not voluntarily and consciously, deliberately, um, you know, stay foolish, stay ignorant, stay oblivious to certain, truths and facts, in order to protect and defend your own happiness and joy. You do not have to know, the whole truths in order to be happy. you know since truths and facts can more or less, or more often than not, make people even more miserable. you know and that can, I suppose, that can also, link, to another famous saying. I suppose, I've learned, from Far From Weak, which is, stay young. Stay young. Learn to awaken your inner child every now and then. So that you can enjoy your life, no matter how shitty it can become, to the fullest. That says, more or less, on some occasions we all have to uh, be be as little children. you know no matter how old we grow, or no matter how supposedly mature mature we continue to grow and evolve as men. We also, also must not forfeit the inner child, the inner parts of the inner naive part, the inner innocence within ourselves, in order to shield ourselves from harm, from forces of negativity, from energy vampires. Say, well, though, the matrix itself is a gigantic gigantic and highly sophisticated energy vampire, massive and astronomical in both size and scale. um yeah, so I don't know, but you know on the other hand, in case you feel sorry for yourselves, um just because you may, you reckon you have no marketable or valuable skills, then why not continue to work on your communication skills, on the skill, the innate skill, not exactly innate skill, but the I suppose, the easiest, though I'm not saying that it will stay easy as you begin to have, uh as you begin to learn the ropes. um while ascend, or level up. But well, it is, it takes you next to nothing to get started with working on your communication skills. Even if as far from weak says, even if you have no other skill sets to back you up, so long as you so long as you can articulate and get your messages across and move people and touch the deepest core, the deepest constituent of their soul, you can work miracles. Even if you have no other sets of skills to back you up, so long as you excel at communication, you can work miracles. That says, you use your speech to influence and kind of indoctrinate people into your into your blueprint, into your plan, and all along the way you can invite, you know those like-minded folks into your boat and work as a team, getting even more, getting even stronger, getting even more persuasive, getting even more convincing, compelling. So yeah, underestimate, never ever underestimate the power of words, the power of vocalization, the power of communication, and never assume that, never assume that you can't you can't further improve your communication skills just because you stutter, just because you shy, just because you suffer from your past trauma as a result of a poor household setting or poor and traumatizing parenting or upbringing. No, not at all. Even I, a stutterer, can get my messages across. So can you. So can you. Yes, I firmly believe in you, in us. You know, to use communication skills, to use you know the power of words, the power of languages to change our lives for the better. Maybe along the way, to change, the whole world for the better. Though I do not actually primarily aim to change the world, since I am fully aware of the fact that the world itself is pretty much beyond saving. That, however, does not necessarily mean that we men are beyond saving. No, there are still space, some room to work on, to improve on, to maneuver. Always, always, always. And yeah, I know that, yes, I've said so. I mentioned, I brought up, you know um how how much it actually matters to follow your natural rhythms or natural bodily rhythms, to heal yourself or to self heal, in order to liberate yourself from the pain, from especially the unnecessary pains, unnecessary troubles, trauma, and afflictions. Um, when just bear this in mind whenever you know you feel pain, whenever you suffer, it um usually means that either your spirit or your soul or your body or all these three or two of them um, is sending you the message or a notification that something has gone wrong. That can imply, say, either you miss something, or you have had too much of something, or you have a you know a mixture of of certain you know toxin that can be physical or chemical toxin, but it can also be a spiritual or a psychological toxin that can torture you, and tear you apart inside and out, especially toxic women, especially toxic relationships, and that can include you know fake and toxic um you know friend yeah fake and toxic friendships. Though I'm not saying that you shouldn't you mustn't apply or adopt the approach, fake it until you make it. Sometimes more or less, I believe, in order to make a decent living, we all more or less have to fake to try to imitate or mimic someone else's speech or behavioral patterns in order to get what we need and what we want. Hey there, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the live stream. Janie, I'm not sure if I pronounce your name right. Janie, right? Jania or Javnia. Shall I just call you Jave? Jave. Yeah. So yeah, just to summarize, once you are suffering, try to identify whether you miss something, say a particular type or a particular group of new new nutrient or nutrients, or you miss um the adequate opportunities to network or to connect or stay in the loop with with your pack or with like-minded people, um or you may, or your mind or your body might be overflowing with something else, that says, and overdose of certain thoughts, certain attitudes, or certain chemicals can also cause you to suffer. And I believe, once we identify and begin to address or tackle those rogue elements, it will certainly make us feel bad a lot better, sooner or later. um hey 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 Heva 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 I beg your pardon. I haven't I haven't gained a sufficient level of knowledge in French or Spanish. So I don't, I suppose that's not an English name. So I beg your pardon in case I failed to pronounce it correctly. So um, what's your thoughts on this war? What's your thoughts on this war about Iran versus Israel? I don't really know much about the beef between these two states. Um, so I don't really suppose I am in. So I don't suppose I have any credit to judge or comment on on what's been happening between the two states. I beg your pardon, but since the a famous saying, history repeats itself, and also from the Bible, particularly from the book of Ecclesiastics, from the book of Ecclesiastes, nothing new under the sun. So don't marvel not at wars or conflicts or threats of wars, blah blah blah, and stand your ground. So long as it doesn't affect you that much, why bother? Why give yourself? Why why add even more burdens, more weight to yourselves? We already have enough things to worry about. So ditch 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 things, ditch information you don't need to feel more free, to feel more liberated, to set yourself at liberty. Just ditch the sack, ditch the garbage. You don't really need to know the food. Like I said, you do not need to know everything um uh, uh you know about facts or truths. You just need to know whatever you need to know in order to get by. In order, well, not just in order to get by, but get by fa- fashionably. Yeah, to get by and to have say some savings, some investments in your bank accounts, some and thus a peace of mind. Yeah, just ditch whatever shite you don't need. Ditch whatever information information and people that serves you no benefit or favor. Learn to di- discern what you need, and from what you desire to have, from what you want to have, or what you want to have or want to achieve. First of all, just take the baby steps, do it step by step. He practice the art and discipline of self healing by restoring your natural bodily rhythms, that it can, which can include but are not limited to circadian rhythms. Yeah, and and I suppose we also need to um, manage, yes, emotional control. Yeah, manage and um, manage emotions, by redirecting, say, your rage, your anger, your wrath onto your target, your onto the goals you want to achieve, you want to make happen. Yeah. So I suppose, yeah, I hope, I sincerely hope that you guys have found this live stream, this live filming session useful, if not at the same time enjoyable, despite involuntary pauses and stutterings. And in case, yes, you do find it enjoyable and useful, please consider smashing that like button so that my channel, so that my videos can can earn more favors from the harlot algorithm. And in turn, it further motivates me to push further and bring you guys more enjoyable, more quality contents and videos. So yeah, in case you guys have any more questions, now is the time to ask away. And in case you have no other you have no other questions or doubts to get clarified, but you might just think of something new later, feel free to post them below this video, and I will do my best to answer to each and every one of them promptly, as best as I can. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and have a lovely weekend. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next time on YouTube, on Patreon, on rumble.com, as well as migtal.tv and BitChute, if God's still willing. So yeah, thank you very much again for watching and tuning in. It's been a pleasure, and I hope it can help. So yeah, I'll see you around, and stay out of trouble. Take care and cheers. Bye.